Greetings and welcome to today's Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Devin and I serve at Romeo UMC, and I'm glad to have you join me here for my first devotion of 2022. I'm going to be honest with you, as I sat here for today, I sat for a while just looking at a blank page with nothing more on it than that blinking cursor. And I did so, I thought of some metaphor to compare that blank page to the new start of a new year and the possibilities that lie before us. I worked on that for a little. But to be honest, it didn't really land as I made my notes. So I used that Control A option, selected everything on my page, and hit the delete key. As I looked again at that blank page, it seemed to reflect well on my thoughts, what I had going on in my head at that moment. I have much to do, much that I need to do, much that others are expecting me to do. I have a list of things to do. Yet all I could muster was that blank page with the cursor blinking before me. It was then that I went searching through my sermon and devotion material folder that I keep. It's got all those stories, articles, pictures, whatever it might be that I come across. And as I was looking through it, I came across something I had saved about a month or two ago. But then as I read through it again today, it spoke to me anew. Perhaps in part that's because tomorrow is the day of Epiphany. The 12 days of Christmas end today, and tomorrow is the day of Epiphany. A day that we often use symbols of light and hope as we talk about it, as we preach about it, as we have services around it. So I ended up making the decision that instead of continuing to look at that blank page, I was gonna fill that blank page with the words of someone else. This was actually written by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the best known as the author of Eat, Pray, Love. But I'm going to invite you to hear this today, what she wrote. Some years ago, I was stuck on a crosstown bus in New York City during rush hour. Traffic was barely moving. The bus was filled with cold, tired people who were deeply irritated with one another, with the world itself. Two men barked at each other about a shove that might or might not have been intentional. A pregnant woman got on, and nobody offered her a seat. Rage was in the air. No mercy would be found here. But as the bus approached 7th Street, the driver got on the intercom. "Folks," he said, "I know you've had a rough day and you're frustrated. I can't do anything about the weather or traffic, but here's what I can do. As each one of you gets off the bus, I will reach out my hand to you. As you walk by, drop your troubles into the palm of my hand, okay? Don't take your problems home to your families tonight, just leave them with me. My route goes right by the Hudson River, and when I drive by there later, I will open the window and throw your troubles into the water." It was as if a spell had lifted. Everyone burst out laughing. Faces gleamed with surprised delight. People who had been pretending for the past hour not to notice each other's existence were suddenly grinning at each other like, "Is this guy serious?" Oh, he was serious. At the next stop, just as promised, the driver reached out his hand, palm up, and waited. One by one, all the exiting commuters placed their hand just above his and mimed the gesture of dropping something into his palm. Some people laughed as they did this, some teared up, but everyone did it. The driver repeated the same lovely ritual at the next stop and the next, all the way to the river. We live in a hard world, my friends. Sometimes it is extra difficult to be a human being. Sometimes you have a bad day. Sometimes you have a bad day that lasts for several years. You struggle and fail. You lose jobs, money, friends, faith, and love. You witness horrible events unfolding in the news. You can become fearful and withdrawn. There are times when everything seems cloaked in darkness. You long for the light, but you don't know where to find it. But what if you are the light? What if you are the very agent of illumination that a dark situation begs for? That's what this bus driver taught me. That anyone can be the light at any moment. This guy wasn't some big power player. He wasn't a spiritual leader. He wasn't some media savvy influencer. He was a bus driver, one of society's most invisible workers. But he possessed real power, and he used it beautifully for our benefit. When life feels especially grim, or when I feel particularly powerless in the face of the world's troubles, I think of this man and ask myself, what can I do right now to be the light? Of course, I can't personally end all wars or transform vexing people into entirely different creatures. I definitely can't control traffic, but I do have some influence on everyone I brush up against, even if we never speak or learn each other's name. No matter who you are, or where you are, or how mundane or tough your situation may seem, I believe you can illuminate your world. In fact, I believe this is the only way the world will ever be illuminated, one bright act of grace at a time, all the way to the river. As we enter into this new year, I'll make the same invitation to you that the bus driver made to those passengers. If you're carrying something that causes you hardship, something that causes you pain, something that's weighing you down, leave it behind today, here, right here. Here's my hand. I'm putting it out before you. Take those things, take those problems, leave them behind, drop them off today. Leave them with me in this moment, in this time. Leave here with those things removed as a worry in your life. And here's my challenge for you after you've done so. Find someone else that you can be the light to next. Someone that you can encourage and uplift and strengthen. Someone that might just need that little bit of light to shine in their life to remind them that it is there. May we all be that light. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and God bless.